Hello and welcome to the Superpower Dare Die Team Live. I'm Peter.
And I'm Live Rick. And we're talking about Moon Knight again. This is a special episode for the one person out there watching. And this is recapping episode 4 and tonight's episode 5. So just to, I guess, do the whole arc of 4 and 5. So I think at the end of episode 3, Mark woke up in Egypt. So episode 4 was this whole thing about finding where Amnet was. They found Amnet's tomb. I might have missed something because it could have been something in 4. But they found Amnet's tomb. Mark as Stephen found the tomb. A really interesting episode. Again, actually, both of these are interesting for stuff I'll go into later on. And right at the end of episode 4, he was shot by, what's his name? Harrow. And then
Ethan Hawke.
Yes. But then it went to this weird thing where he was in a psychiatric. It was like, oh, hang on, where are we going here? Psych ward. I thought really clever.
Harrow's the doctor now.
Yes, Harrow's the doctor. But it was kind of like that way. It could have actually been a whole thing played out in his head, and Harrow really was the doctor.
I think Layla was one of the patients. Apparently, the gold statue guy was another one of the patients.
So there's all little throwbacks to what had been in the episodes up to. So then
you see all the statues in Dr. Harrow's office, all the Egyptian stuff.
Yeah.
And so I guess the question was at the end of the episode was
everything we just saw
really what's happening, or is this him in his death throes, or is he actually in an asylum the whole time?
Yeah. And so episode 5 carries on with this, still in the asylum. Some other stuff goes on. I'm going to say I love this episode. I love both of them for the reason that Moon Knight didn't turn up at all, except for a couple of flashbacks. And what I find interesting is that I hated Boba Fett because Boba Fett didn't turn up for 2 or 3 episodes. Whereas this one, I love the fact that, because I love exploring I love the exploration of this character. I thought they did it so well, particularly in this episode. I love this episode. I liked episode 4.
That's just the complications of people, isn't it? You can like something for one reason and hate something else for the same reason, can't you?
Yeah.
Like you can see a big blockbuster movie and go, oh, I hated that. It was just explosions and stupidity everywhere. And
like something
you
like
can see another blockbuster and say, oh, I love that. There was big explosions everywhere. I think it depends on your mood or something. I don't know what it is.
That's like makes you compare the Lost City to, I don't know, nothing.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. So at the end of the episode, there was a hippo god.
That's episode 4. End of episode 4. Yes, the hippo that sort of came out of nowhere
tonight as well.
So again, I've just restarted my computer and now messages are coming up.
It's all right. I just got a missed call from my mum, who is still with us, and I don't know who he's talking to at the end of that phone.
Clearly not watching not watching this. So there was a couple of things I noticed in episode 4. So this is before they went into the asylum thing, and they were actually traveling around Egypt or whatever site they passed off as.
Yeah.
But they went into this sort of like cave thing. So it was like miles high, and I'm sure that's the exact same spot from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Oh, maybe.
It was like these just like big rocks that went up to the wall.
King's Canyon or somewhere in Egypt.
Something like that.
Fairly recognizable.
Well, I don't know. I'm not.
I don't know. I can't even remember last week's episode. I just remember the ending.
But no, I remember seeing that scene and went, "Oh, that's where they went. That's where they went for the Holy
Probably.
Grail."
It's quite possible it is, or it's like a green screen rendition of it.
Well, if they did a green screen, it was pretty good too. So, hang on, I got a couple of notes here that I'm trying to read because I write in the dark because I watch in the dark. Oh, yeah, okay. So, in episode 4, there was some sort of, and it might have been when he realized he was in the mental asylum. So there was a flashback scene that was beautifully shot in the old 16:9 ratio. Like you had the sidebars down and you had the so I guess the video grain in it as well. Like really thoughtfully done. I think maybe that was when he was I think it was when he died and he was coming back as whatever. So just something I remembered from episode 4 and wrote down.
Because you would have watched it fairly recently. I watched it last week.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday.
I just remember thinking, what is going on?
In that episode?
Yeah, just towards the end when he's in the asylum and that. I was like, what?
Well, I think that's your kind of big WTF moment.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess I sort of suspected that it's not real. Like, that's not going to be the twist of the show. I just suspect that it's going to be something to do with him dying. And I think tonight's episode confirmed that.
Yeah.
I think.
No, I think they did. Like, you're in the afterlife sort of thing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they said that it was driven by the hippo. And I really found, because I love the whole thing about, I guess, Stephen being the character that walks us through all the things in Mark's life that have
traumatic.
Have traumatized him. And then Stephen's the one we lose.
Yeah. So do you think he's gone then?
I would like to think so. I'd like. Okay, so there's some. It's next week.
The scales were balanced, weren't they?
Once he left. So next week's the last episode.
Yeah.
So what I'm hoping won't happen next week is that it's a big kind of because we haven't seen the character Moon Knight for. He hasn't really showed up a lot in the first 5 episodes.
They had him in one scene in tonight's episode 5 that just how
it was a flashback
became Moon Knight, and they just had him just get his costume on basically.
Yeah, but
he didn't actually do anything as Moon Knight.
No, and if you look at the whole series, Moon Knight's hardly been episode 1. There was the thing right at the end where you just saw him punching something.
Yeah.
There's been Moon Knight in Stephen's version where he's in the suit, but not a lot in the whole big cow. I think there was the one in Egypt when he was trying to rescue. I can't even think of it. Layla but he hasn't had a lot to do. So I've really liked
it with that because I wasn't that impressed with the fighting and stuff. We've seen it all before. We've seen pretty much all you can see with costume heroes fighting.
Yeah, and that's why I'm loving this.
Faceless goons, really.
It's the exploration of the actual character that is behind it. I guess that's why I love this episode so much. It was the whole realization that the bringing together of the Mark and Stephen character, and then it almost felt like for Mark to continue, he had to let Stephen die. Now whether Stephen comes back again at the end as a sort of a kind of gotcha, not a gotcha, like one of those things that like Mark's about to die. Yeah, a twist. Mark's going to die at the hands of Harrow, and then suddenly. Stephen comes into it, but it was revealed in tonight's episode that Mark created Stephen as a way to escape his traumatic experiences as a child,
his mother as a child. His brother was indirectly responsible for his brother's death, and his mother resented him for it.
Yeah.
So treated him badly afterwards. So he created this alter ego Stephen to
escape that,
protect him from that. And Stephen apparently had the nice life, and Mark had the horrible one where Mum beat him and stuff like that. So I felt sorry for the dad. Like, they have the scene with the funeral where he's just outside on the road, and I thought he's lost both his sons and his wife. The poor dad, he didn't do much.
Yeah, I thought the dad was a pretty piss weak actor, so I was happy not to see any more of him. But he didn't
have much to do, to be fair. Just look a bit sad.
And I have to say,
extensions put in his wig for later, a more modern time.
Although, and I got to say, I still hate kids as actors.
Yeah,
even
it was
the
all right,
flashbacks.
wasn't it? It was okay.
No, and it's the best they can do. It's the best. You're doing all right. Here's a participation award for acting in this film. But so I think that's part of what I really liked about the episode. It had all to do with Moon Knight. It was about Mark finding himself. And so getting back to what you were saying before, like when the scales balanced after Stephen died, and I really wanted it to keep going. I was disappointed when the episode ended because I just wanted to keep watching. But I'm going to be really disappointed if next week's just a CGI fest against two Egyptian god things.
I think there's probably a pretty good chance of that happening, though.
I really hope it does, and I hope they manage to keep this one on a leash.
So what's Mark's next move? He's in the Reed, so he's in that. He got to the good afterlife. So now he has to get back to Khonshu, doesn't he, to try and get Moon Knight back to face off Harrow.
So I think it was inferred in this one that because on the boat where the bodies started dropping out, and the hippopotamus god is saying, "Oh my God, people are just dying now," because so it looks like
something's going on.
Yeah, Ethan's already got control and just killing people now. So what world he comes back to is going to be interesting. I'm kind of hoping that
how's he going to come back?
Well, this is the part now because they have.
He doesn't have his powers. He doesn't have Stephen.
He's got nothing. So somehow you got to get Khonshu back into it.
Yeah, and that's what I thought they were doing. I thought the hippo was trying to take them to Khonshu.
There might be one of those like scenes where
that voice was miscast too. I reckon it was.
No, I think it was deliberately done that way.
It probably was, but it didn't work for me. Having a chirpy sort of hippo goddess.
Worked for me.
And just the fact that she was a bit incompetent with her cards and spilling her cards.
That part was dumb. I thought that was dumb. Oh, it's on a card here somewhere. But I thought the voice was perfect because it was completely against what you'd expect from a.
No, I need a gruff woman's voice for a hippo character. Don't want a chirpy one.
Yeah, okay. So much to say, but I'm just going to leave it, let that lie.
Just remember that the next time there's a hippo on the casting couch, the gruff voice is the way to go.
But so, I don't know. I don't have much more to say about these two.
So I guess just the prediction for next week is Mark's going to be back and face Harrow, and he'll have to have Moon Knight back because with Khonshu, maybe Layla and Mark will reconcile, and I don't know, maybe Mark's learnt something from Stephen. I don't know.
Maybe Stephen's become more of a part of him. I think it's more. Is there going to be this scene where he's got there, he's fighting his Mark, he's losing because he's just human, and somehow someone's freed Khonshu, just at the right moment, he's just about to die again as Mark, and someone's smashed the statue, freed Khonshu, yes, and bang, Moonlight, just comes out and big CGI fight. Ethan Hawke says, "I was a doctor."
I reckon maybe at the end everything will be hunky dory with Mark and Layla, and they'll do something, and he'll look into a reflection, and it'll be like Steven saying, "Mark, help me out of here, please, Mark." And then it will go cut to black, and that'll be the end of it.
I don't mind that either. So
I don't think this will be more than one series. I think this is probably just one and done.
A one-off?
Unless season one is the origin story, and then
yeah, but I don't want to see him as a superhero. I've been more enjoying
what we've seen, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
like you said, the last couple of episodes without Moon Knight have probably been more enjoyable with the episodes where it becomes a bit of a trope that they rely on their superpowers and things. It's like Superman becomes boring because he's invincible. You can't stop him.
No, I have so many stories for Superman that would make it way more.
But like these superheroes, when they're invincible, it gets a bit.
Yeah,
the stakes. It's all about stakes. These movies. If no one can die and no one, is at any danger at all, if you can fall from a 6-story building and not get a scratch, then you just don't care anymore. So it's been good not having that, because Steven or Mark can get hurt, can get shot, can die.
So a couple of notes that I just saw. I know you're ready to wrap up because you're tired. You've been working hard all day. Something again else you said earlier about how was he talking to? Who was he talking to as his mum on the phone? Because I thought in episode 1 when he kept ringing his mum, I thought she was dead. Like he was just leaving him, talking to her on his voice message, like just leaving a big message for her. So I'm kind of happy that I picked that. When he talked to her on the phone, he was so, and even then, it still could have been him just leaving a big long message, just going, "I'm a stupid idiot here. I can't do the accent like you."
Or maybe his mum's his third personality.
I've done a bit of I've done a bit of research. No, that's not the case. And what I also the other thing that I really noticed in this episode, particularly, the great use of special effects. You believe there were 2 Oscar Isaacs on screen.
They did a very good job of that.
They did that so
you didn't
well.
You didn't even think about it. That's what. That's because it was good. You didn't think anything about the fact.
It was so good because it was just like they were. You didn't think it was the same character.
There was like one point in a corridor where
with the split down the wall.
He was sort of looking at the other Oscar. I thought, I bet you they must have had like a double there or something. So he's, got the reference there. But that was, then after that, it was like, you didn't even notice.
No, and you didn't. It was really well done. And also kudos to Oscar Isaacs or Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Singular, not plural.
I think it's just Oscar Isaac. Poe Dameron.
Anyway, so yes, Poe Dameron, his acting was amazing to play off these 2 characters and carry the depth of emotion that he did at the times he had to do. I went, my hat's off to you, sir. Like,
I think he had a bit of input in the show. I don't think he would have done it if it was just this costume,
just standard
thing.
So I thought he was amazing in this episode. Like, I did tear up. I'll admit I did have a few tears in this episode. I thought it was great.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I must be dead inside.
Inhuman.
Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got. Have you got anything else?
Nah, I'm pretty done.
Well, thank you for watching. We had a few people at one stage.
Sorry if we bored you.
Watching it live, and if you're watching it later, thanks for watching. We should return with a regular movie review this week, and we'll be back next Wednesday for the final episode.
Finale.
Moon Knight. So please like and subscribe. comment if you like, and we'll see you next time.
Yep. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
See ya.
Wrong hand. Bye. There you go.